And can you assure this committee that you will not make any, that HUD does not have any current or future plans to eliminate the equal access rule in rulemaking?
I'm not going to say what we will do in the future about anything. We don't know what we're going to do in the future.
Are you currently anticipating doing that?
I'm not currently anticipating changing the rule.
All right, here is why that Congresswoman questioning the HUD Secretary, Ben Carson, about all of this is the very next day HUD did indeed propose a rule that would allow federally funded shelters to refuse to admit people on religious grounds, force transgenders to use men's bathrooms, what have you, and that she claimed that the Secretary lied to her. So we thought it would be a good idea to talk to him about that and what he has to say in response. I'm happy to say Ben Carson is on the show with us right now, the Secretary with us from Washington. I believe in Florida. He's in West Palm Beach today. Secretary, good to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Neil.
She says you lied, Secretary. What do you say?
I don't think so. The rule from 2012 is not in any way being altered. The rule for 2016 has had some additions made to it. But it appeared to me that she was asking whether we were going to eliminate the prohibitions against discrimination against LGBTQ community. And we would never do that. I wonder what she would say if she knew how much I've had to resist people who wanted the rule taken down altogether.
So what, maybe you can just, it went sidetracked in a relatively arcane area to many who follow HUD policies on areas that this was deemed to be anti-LGBT. Can you just answer that? How do you describe it?
The rule is to prevent discrimination against LGBTQ. And of course, we would never take that down, or I wouldn't, not during the time that I'm here, even though there is a lot of pressure to do so. I think we have to be fair to everybody. But being fair to everybody means exactly that. It doesn't mean that you take one group and let their rights supersede other groups. So we try to be extraordinarily fair. And, that's why, we're opening things up to public comment. We're looking at having a forum at HUD where we invite the various stakeholders in, LGBTQ community, as well as shelter providers, as well as people who take advantage of the shelters, and a whole group of others. And I want all of them to be able to express to each other what their concerns are, before we make any definitive rule alterations.
You had described, sir, as having difficulty hearing during the back and forth with some congressional members. At one point, mishearing the word Oreo, which when I believe one of the Congress people questioning you was saying it was the acronym REO, REO, which stands for real estate owned, and you said you just misheard her. She's not buying it, says that you were ill prepared for it, and that this is Jennifer Wexton saying that the Secretary lied to me and to Congress, lied again when he called me to clarify his testimony. He's proven himself to be deceitful and inept as HUD Secretary. He should resign. What did you think of that?
I think we've reached a very sad point in our country where a hearing that is supposed to be about what the policies are becomes, just attack, not really being very interested in what the answers are. And I hope we can move beyond that and really deal with the issues. As far as REO is concerned, Rio, it used to be a very common thing. We used to have, over 65,000 properties 10 years ago. We're down to 6,500. I can honestly say no one has ever used that term since I've been at HUD. But I know what they are just from having grown up in Detroit.
Was she, do you think, was she trying to trap you? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure what she was trying to do, but if she wanted an answer in terms of why the rates are somewhat higher for FHA properties than they are with the GSEs, that's because they take on higher risk customers.
So let me get yours. You know, when you took on this job, there was a sentiment, you know, obviously you're a world-renowned surgeon. People who don't know your past, I mean, impeccable credentials. You've done unprecedented surgeries, you know, separating conjoined twins that have put you in the history books. And when your basic intelligence is being questioned at some level, that's got to tick you off.
Well, it probably would, but, you know, for me, it's really not about me. It's about what we're called to do. You know, I want to change this agency from one that just, you know, harbors people to one that puts people on a trajectory to success, recognizing that our people are our most valuable resource. And if we don't develop them appropriately, we'll not be able to compete in the world in the future. So, you know, I know that I'm going to be attacked a lot just because I'm in this administration and I'm with Trump. And I know people won't look back over your life and the things that you've done. They just want to destroy. But that's okay. I expected that. I fully expected that, knew that was coming. I probably should be a little more prepared in these hearings for just hostility and attacks. You know, my general modus operandi is you be nice and respectful to them, they'll be nice and respectful to you. That obviously doesn't work in this particular setting. Maybe some adjustments need to be made, but you know, we will always continue to try to do what is right for the people.
Finally, Secretary, the cynics read that when it comes to HUD and this department, that Republicans view it as just big government run amok, good intentions run afoul, and that you came in to start taking it down. How do you respond to that?
I came in to change it. There's no question about that. And it would be nice, you know, if we didn't need it. But we do need it. Jesus said, the poor you will always have with you. And we will always have elderly and disabled people. And we need to find the most efficient way to take care of those. And then for the ones who are work able, we need to utilize the powers that we have to put them on a trajectory for success. You know, and that's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to do it in an efficient way, changing it from a gigantic bureaucracy to more of a business model. We've hired a CFO now, finally. 8.5 years we had no CFO with billions of dollars flowing through. Now we have some financial structures in place which will alleviate a lot of the problems that existed long term. You know, given, for instance, you know, the dining room set that became so famous. You know, none of the previous administrations did any of those things that were supposedly to be done. That's because the system that was in place was inappropriate. Those kinds of things have been corrected throughout the organization. The material defects have been cut almost in half. A lot of things have changed. And if you really want to find out what's been going on, go to HUD.gov and look under the accomplishment section. I think you'd be quite amazed.
Well, we should have balance in all our reporting, and I don't believe in your case you've gotten that. But Dr. Ben Carson, very good having you, Secretary. Be well.
Thank you very much.